Hello, and welcome to the Footy Podcast. To benefit Here's Help. Here's Help is a nonprofit comprehensive rehabilitation and educational agency that's been providing treatment services in South Florida since 1968. For more information on Here's Help or Footy's podcast, you can contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. Now, here's Footy.
Well, hello once again, and welcome to the Footy Podcast. I'm Ron Hersey. I want to thank Footy for the opportunity to be with you here on the podcast. We had to do some schedule changing around this week to actually get the recording done, but we are speaking to you from the campus of Here's Help in Miami Gardens, 151st Street and 27th Avenue. The program, the campus is here for young men dealing with their substance issues. And it's been here for quite some time. When I met Footy back in the days of Y100, near as I can figure, it was 1982. The campus consisted of a little house, which was up on the corner of 151st and 27th. Over the years, thanks to your generous support and your support of the Wingdings, the campus has grown to incredible proportions. We're speaking to you from the Music and Arts room building that's here on the campus, which houses our studio. To the other side of the camera is an incredibly well-equipped music studio, thanks to the generosity of Gloria and Emilio Estefan, a lot of guitars, a couple of drum sets. There's also a computer lab here, an art school. Then here in the lobby, we also have a grand piano, which we'll be getting more into a little bit later in our podcast today. A Dade County public school on campus here. A lot of these young men, for various reasons, never got their high school diplomas. And so one of the first steps when they arrive here is to determine whether or not they have a diploma. And if not, get them into a Dade County public school. We actually have a classroom here on campus with Miami-Dade County public school teachers here to help them get their diploma. It's all about what we call recovery through education and getting a replacement life. There's a dorm building here. There's the main building up front, a big athletic field, the Dan Marino athletic field, and it's been really rewarding to see the plumbing school, which is coming along very well here on the campus as well. And then there are horticulture. There's, thanks to Pepe Badilla, an incredibly well-stocked and well-armed culinary school, and Chef Tracy is in the culinary school doing a great job. These young men, as you can tell, well, you probably can't tell from their uniforms, they are with the culinary school, and we'll be talking about that. So, as Footy says, you know, there's someone in every family who's battling with substance abuse issues. It may be you, it may be someone in your family, it may just be a friend or a loved one, and if they are perhaps thinking about maybe it's time to work on putting that part of their life behind them and move on, we strongly suggest that you go to here'shelpinc.com, check out the website, and get all the details on what's going on here because, as we say, it's grown quite a lot, and it's helped quite a few young men. I've been doing this podcast and doing the radio show before the podcast for quite a few years now. We've talked to quite a few young men, and we've seen a lot of guys come in and out of the program and succeed with what we call the replacement life. So we want to welcome back Yohani back to the program. I stole you out of culinary to be with us. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man. How you doing, man?
You know, I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Yeah, man. That's what it's a great day, sunny day today. It's been a lot of rain lately.
Yes. And we also want to welcome for the first time, I believe, Jerry. Welcome to the Here's Help Show, the podcast, the Footy Podcast. Old habits never die. It was the Here's Help Show for many years on Y100, and but now we've moved into the podcast zone, and so now it's the Footy Podcast. So we'll start with you, Yohani. For folks who may have missed your appearance before, give us a little bit of your background, where you're from, what got you on the path to substance abuse, and what led you to Here's Help?
Well, I'm born in Brooklyn, New York. I was brought here at a very young age. At the age of 9, I was riding with my older brother in the car, and I remember he was smoking something, and I asked him, I said, because it smelled funny, and I didn't quite know what it was. So I asked him, what is that smell? And he's like, weed, don't tell mom you want to smoke. And well, I got into that, and throughout the years I've escalated. 13 years old, I tried what they call cocaine. And when I was 16, I really got into it, and it was just a ladder, and I ended up getting into the street life. Making a lot of bad decisions. And I ended up going to prison for a while. Been in prison more than once. Got out. First time I thought I had it all figured out. I didn't. Same week I was back to doing the same thing again. Being out. Went back, got out, and it's like, it gets to a point in life where you bump your head so many times against the wall and you just get tired of it. So I asked the judge for this. Last time I violated my community control upon my release, January 4th this year. I got out of prison, and February 2nd I was arrested again. I think it was March 21st. I saw the judge, and they was gonna reinstate me back with a monitor on my leg on my community control, and I just told the judge I wasn't ready for it, and I would like to go to a program and to better myself, and they gave me that chance. So I'm here making the best of it, taking the most advantage I can out of it, getting most of my life back together, getting my life back together, go out there and just progress, man, prosper, do better than I was before.
Well, we've talked to a lot of young men on this program, and I think you may have the record. I think 9 may be the youngest age we've ever spoken to anybody who had their first experience with some sort of substance. How old are you now?
I am 25, June 5th.
So
25.
the point I wanted to make, and you talked about you thought maybe you had things under control after maybe a couple of months of abstinence.
Really, what it was is you bump your head and you bump your head.
Right.
And I bumped my head, and I felt really low when I was in prison. That was like my downfall.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That was like my downfall. And being incarcerated is like you're suffering, and it makes you think a lot.
Right.
And basically, in my time incarcerated, this is before the last time. And I was just thinking, man, I'm tired of this. I'm going to do the right thing. And I started making goals and making plans. And, man, I know I'm not going to go back to the same thing. But once I tasted freedom, the temptation and my surroundings, it's easier to say than to do.
Yeah, Jerry's nodding his head. You've been there as well.
For sure.
Right. Well, the point I wanted to bring out is you're talking about years of a certain mentality, years of a certain lifestyle. So the fact that you can't, you try abstinence for a couple of months, you can't undo several years of behavior in just a couple of months. Sometimes it takes more than one visit or, more than one attempt to try to undo all of that. So it's not something that you should feel guilty about or bad about, because it's just the way it goes.
Yes,
but the important thing is that you realized that you needed help. And that's the giant leap. Nothing happens till you reach that point. We've talked to several young men who wound up here ordered by the court, and the phrase "fake it to make it" pops up where you're telling everybody what you think they want to hear because you have no intention of changing. You just want to do whatever you can to fly under the radar and get out of here and go right back to that lifestyle. But you've reached that plateau where you're like, I can't do this anymore. And that's when everything else starts to fall into place. So how long have you been here at Here's Help?
Well, I got here in March.
Mm-hmm.
We go by a 120-point system where we earn a point every day. And, of course, also, if you get in trouble or whatever, you lose points.
Mm-hmm.
But they also do things to help you get points.
Right.
Like me now, I have a function. So I've been here since, if I'm not mistaken, since March 25th. And I've been doing good. I kind of got involved in a little incident, and I lost. In total, I've already lost 72 points.
A little trouble.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's been a while now. I've been staying clean. I'm out of the mud.
Right.
I'm actually doing very good compared to how I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's impressed. I actually have some staff members that thought I wasn't going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I made a big improvement, and I'm proud of myself. Because there was a point in time where the minute that jail van would have dropped me off, as soon as it pulled off, I would have gone out my way.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, man, it's just that's it, man. It's time to close this chapter of my life. I mean, since I've been here now, I completed all my GED tests except my math. I missed it by 6 points when I was incarcerated. I actually taught myself with GED books.
Wow.
And decided to take the test one day, and I missed math by 6 points. But just yesterday I finished math, doing my the whole GED math book. Pretty much ahead of the game because we do 2 periods. Since I only have to do math, I don't have to go to another GED subject. And so pretty much this week I'll be like reviewing things in the book, and I should be ready to take the test in about a week or 2. And so that'll be an accomplishment. I feel like I'm ready.
Well, congratulations. I have to tell you, having spoken with you on the podcast before, I can see a real change in your demeanor. Not that there was anything wrong with your demeanor the last time we talked, but I can see that there's more of a determination in your even in your speech and the things that you say, and also in your face, your overall expressions, that you seem to have come to terms with what's going on. And I think this time you've really made up your mind that you're gonna make a difference. What do you plan to do when you get back those 72 points that you
Well, I should be going home next month.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome.
I should be going home next month.
And so what's going to happen there? What are you going to do?
I got my food handlers already. I took the pre-test to the manager's test, my ServSafe, because they also provide us with that here, and I passed with an 85%.
Wow.
So I'm pretty much there. Like, I know I could take the test and pass it, but I want to go over a few things and watch a couple of ServSafe videos and things to make sure to just be positive that I'm going to get it. It's always good to be ready, ready, and so when I was incarcerated, I actually made I've always liked the food industry, food trucks. I've actually worked on a food truck before, and I made a whole plan out on a food truck company. Everything I need, the supplies, what it's gonna cost me.
A business plan.
Yeah, business plan. I made the menu. I actually had that vision, but the way I was living, I was never able to accomplish it. So now that I'm actually getting myself together and really dedicating the time to get all the wrong things that I've been doing in my life to be able to correct them. And man, I'm gonna do it. I wanna get me a food truck. I might have to, start working, save some money. I have somewhere to go where for the moment I won't be having to spend no money on rent or anything like that. So it's a good opportunity that I'm gonna be able to save some money. And I want to open a business, man.
Well, good for you. And I just want to bring our audience in. When you say food handlers, that's certification that you need to work in a restaurant.
Yes, to be around food. Period.
And then that's part of the process here. We talked about recovery through education and replacement lifestyle. In addition to your high school diploma, we're also helping with in culinary. It's the food handler's license and the food manager's license. Yes. And then in the plumbing school, there's plumbing certification. There's an off-campus automotive repair school that we're doing with a local dealership, and there's certifications there as well. So just want to bring folks into what we were talking about. Jerry, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, your experiences with substances. Don't be afraid to get right up on that mic so we can hear you nice and clear.
Okay.
And what brought you to Here's Help?
Well, as you know, my name is Jerry. I'm 25 years old, like Johanny. I had a childhood, you would probably call it a dysfunctional family kind of thing. I'm not the only one in my family that struggles with addiction. So I seen it when I was very young. You know, I experienced several forms of abuse. But to catch up on the story, when I was 15 years old, I went to school with my sister Darlene. And during lunch, you know, she handed me an alcoholic beverage.
How old were you?
I was 15.
Okay.
So I haven't done anything in my life prior.
Mm-hmm.
So she handed me this beverage. It was about 16 ounces. And she's like, let's drink. So I drank it, and really quickly. And she drank like 25% of hers, and she gave me the rest, and I drank that too.
Mm-hmm.
So that day was a disaster. I got suspended from school. But when I got back, I instinctively found the crowd that smoked weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I stuck with that crowd. I started smoking weed. I was an addict from the start. As soon as I started smoking, I started skipping school to go smoke. And when I didn't have money, I started to learn how to steal to go smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a domino effect of disaster since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, obviously, I didn't consider myself an addict. You know, I'm just smoking weed. I'm cool. You know, stuff like that. It's cool. You know, everybody does it. Makes you feel good. That's what we do. And throughout the years, it just got worse. You know, I kept getting arrested. I started accumulating a juvenile record up until I became an adult. And
that's when things changed.
And then I started accumulating a criminal record.
Right.
And so, you know, I went to jail my first like 2-3 times. I got out the next day. And then one day, you know, I was like sitting in jail for 6 months. And I'm like, wow, what's this about, you know? And I didn't get out. And I'm like, why aren't they letting me out?
Right.
They sent me to, they sent, you know, it was funny because they put me in handcuffs at the transit jail,
mm-hmm.
and I thought I was going home because they always take you at that time to go home or whatever, but they sent me to the permanent jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man. Yeah. So that's when I started realizing, you know, perhaps I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was about 19 when I realized that maybe I have a problem. But that didn't stop there. You know, I got out of jail. I was doing all right for a while, you know, with my mom and stuff. But, you know, I always went back to that old friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my friend since I was like 16 years old, he's been my boy. We did everything together, everything negative together. And, I'll be home bored because it's just me and my mom, and, you know, I want to go out. So, like, he's the only friend I had, except, you know, all he ever liked to do was, you know, drink and smoke. So, like, I started hanging out with him, and then I started drinking and smoking again. And once I put that stuff into my system, man, I don't know what happens to me. I'm not myself anymore, you know. I just turn into this whole other person, and then my mind just gets set on that. Like, by any means necessary, I need to get this weed. You know, I need to get this alcohol. I need to, you know, and then it became I need to get this coke, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that. I'm 25 right now, so I've been battling with this for 10 years. In 2019, I got arrested, and I was on probation. I violated probation. After that, I got sent to a program. This isn't my first rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
This is my third. So I got sent to a program and I finally started getting it, you know, and I kind of surrendered myself to the whole, you know, to this whole drug addiction thing. Like, yeah, I'm an addict, and like I was kind of getting the point, like, you know, if I pick anything up, it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's weed, you know, how nowadays it's glorified, but even that, like, it's something I can't touch because I'm just a guy that can't do it normally. Like, I'm not normal when it comes to that. But I accumulated 21 months of sobriety through a 12-step program, and I was really looking at the bright side of life. As I said earlier, you know, I experienced a lot of abuse as a child up until I was 15. So I never really had, I never grew emotionally or mentally because I never had that parental guidance to do so. And I transitioned from an abusive household to an addictive lifestyle. And I'm 25 years old, but mentally and emotionally, I'm probably like 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this relapse that happened, it was a really big, like, I really felt like I lost something this time, you know, because I accumulated so much sobriety, and with that sobriety came so many blessings. Like, I was going to school, you know, next year I get my bachelor's.
Wow.
You know, I was playing the piano a lot at home. I was, you know, progressing with that, you know, making compositions and things like that. And I was going to work. I'm into the fitness lifestyle. You know, when I'm not on drugs, I got to be addicted to something. So I was addicted to the gym. And I was doing that. And I was doing all these things faithfully, you know, paying my own bills, stuff like that, doing what a productive member of society is supposed to do. And I was doing those things. So I got a taste of that life, you know, a taste of that productive lifestyle. And it was like something never before. I even got into a very healthy relationship. And there was communication progress all the time. And, you know, she opened up my world to something new, like doing stuff that like people do, you know, like we'll go to the mall and we'll play hide and seek there. I had my first picnic with her. My first time ice skating was with her. You know, I did a lot of first good things. And I had a lot of first good friends, which were her friends. They became my friends, and it was just a different life. It was that life that they show on TV.
You know, replacement life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And like I had a taste of it. But my downfall was that I let all these things, all this material accumulation, all these accolades, like I started giving myself credit for that. Like, okay, I did this, you know, because I'm the man, you know. I'm the guy, you know. I got all this by myself. I forgot where I came from. I forgot the struggle that I went through. I forgot who was there to help me every step of the way. And I just was giving the credit to myself. I didn't remain vigilant. You know, I lost my humility. I became arrogant because I let these things cloud my mind. And one day I got into an argument with my sponsor in my 12-step program, and that was the moment of influence right there. I can either make the right decision or the wrong decision, and I made the wrong decision. I decided to say, well, you know what? Forget this guy, forget this program. I can do this on my own. I got 21 months clean, you know. I had 20 months clean, and I got this, you know. So, like, you know, a week later, I was smoking weed because of that. Because I lost sight of where I came from. Of, you know, I started becoming ungrateful. And when you become ungrateful, it just this addiction, it just falls on you. It comes and it gets you because you lose sight of what the real thing is, you know. And I lost sight of that, you know. I started caring only for myself and for my own interests once again, and that means I stopped caring about my mom. I stopped caring about my girl. I stopped caring about anybody, and I just was doing my own thing. And I'm like, you know what? I can just smoke weed at work, you know, and just during my break, and I'll be fine, you know. And then 3 weeks later, I was, you know, back with the cocaine, and then 2 weeks later, I was back in jail.
It's a quick slide.
And 2 weeks later, I was at Here's Help. Right? So here I am. And
how long have you been here?
I've been here since June 2nd.
Okay. So just at this point, just a month today.
A month today.
Yeah.
A month today.
Okay. So tell us about that experience. What's Here's Help been like for you?
Here's Help, as a whole, has helped me realize what it is that I was missing. And I was missing a little bit of gratitude. I was missing a little bit of humility. And my biggest thing is discipline. Mm-hmm. I was definitely lacking discipline. I was not a disciplined person. And, they have this thing here that when you come here and you introduce yourself, you have to stand up, you have to say your name, where you're from, what's something positive you want to get out the program. So, I knew what I needed. I knew I needed discipline. So I said, my name is Jerry, I'm 25, I'm from Color Ridge. Something I want to get out of this program is discipline. And Coach, we have a guy here named Coach,
mm-hmm.
and he has the memory of an elephant.
Yeah, he does.
He forgets nothing.
Yeah.
So, by the way he handles himself with me, I know that he remembers what I said, and he's offering me that.
That discipline.
That discipline,
yeah, and you'll get it from a coach.
Yeah. But I'm very grateful for that because it took me about 2 weeks to realize that he's really just looking out for my best interest, and
mm-hmm.
he's giving me what I asked for, and not just him. The environment in itself, when I found out that they had a music room here, I was blown away. I'm like, wow, they have a music room here, and being in the kitchen is my second passion. So they have culinary here. It was the man upstairs put me here for a reason, and it's been a great experience. The point system, I've been doing pretty good with that lately. I've been here a month, but I have 37 points today because I have a function like Yohani, and we've been getting it in. We're coming here. We're doing what we need to do, and when discipline is needed, coach is there to put it there. And the group therapies have been great too. We hit a lot of topics that I personally believe that I needed to revisit or hear for the first time. And they have a structure here, and I'm a person who's kind of crazy. I need a little bit of structure.
Mm-hmm.
So Here's Help is really offering me everything that I need. I don't go to sleep hungry here.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't complain with the services that they've been providing me, and
we eat great food.
That's funny.
We eat great food.
Almost every young man we have on the show, and I guess it's indicative of your previous lifestyle, that food kind of takes a back seat to your need for substances. And so, yeah, every guy we talk to is talking about how great the food is. And a lot of that has to do with the fact there's a kitchen here, and Chef Tracy does such a great job. But a lot of the food that you prepare is actually grown. There's a garden-to-table program. Every kind of thing kind of works in conjunction with everything else. Horticulture provides some of the food groups that are used in the cooking. So,
fresh.
But it's great that... every guy talks about how good the food is. So I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted to point that out.
Right. And for a fitness guy like me, food is very important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel that Here's Help. It's been a month only. I still got some ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a rush. I used to be in a rush, and everything was okay, I just need to get it and go. But
I just need to kick this in 2 weeks and get on with my life.
Yeah. I just need to get this kick off of me. I just need to get a couple meals in me.
Yeah.
Some people need to get a few cigarettes in or something.
Right.
Whatever. But I just need to sit back and let the man upstairs handle this situation for me, and he's doing it right now. I'm right here, and I'm not dead. I'm still not in jail.
Mm.
So, there's a purpose for me in life. Right, and I wanna discover that purpose. I'm finding my identity here as a person. I can sit and think about who I am as an individual. What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? I get helped with that in therapy. Individual therapy.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist is very good at pointing things out.
What's her name?
Her name is Miss Anka.
Okay.
And
she's great.
Yeah, she is, and she has an eye for strengths and weaknesses. Like she has the all-seeing eye of a therapist. And you know, I trust where I'm at. I trust this place. I trust the services. I trust the therapy. But I don't trust myself. You know.
Well, not yet.
Not yet, because every time I do, you know, if you know, left to my own device, you know, I do the things that I do. Left to my own device, you know, I put myself in jail. No one puts me in jail. You know, left to my own device, you know, stuff like that. But that's because I was lacking things that I'm now getting. So I'm very thankful for that. And it's only been a month, so you can imagine how much greater things are going to be the day I graduate. Let's say, you know, how much more growth as an individual I have experienced. You know, and I'm pretty sure that people will be able to see that, just as you saw it earlier with Yohani. You know, it happens here. You know, you grow here if you allow it. If you allow the process to do what the process does. It does work. It does something to a person. You know, we do transform here. And I know that Here's Help has transformed lives. There's so many pictures all over the walls.
There's a lot of help here.
Of youth, you know, like, you know, it's just amazing.
And you know, you kind of touched on something. One of the many things from my experience that sets Here's Help apart from a lot of facilities is the people here really do care. A lot of the folks here have been there and done that, but I hate to use the word predatory, but there are a lot of programs out there that really are just looking for that insurance money or whatever enrollment money they can get, and you spend your days sitting around, as you said, sitting around on couches in a living room smoking cigarettes all day, and there's no real guidance, there's no real structure, there's no real help. But I can say that I really feel here, with my experience over the years, the folks here really do care, and the end goal really is, you know, sobriety and success and that replacement life. And so, go ahead.
And that's not to say that sometimes it doesn't bother us.
Well,
because you know, as addicts, we don't like to get moved out of our comfort zone. Right. But that's exactly what needs to happen. We need to get it out of our comfort zone. You know, because getting out of your comfort zone, that's where you find that new way of life. Because, you know, if you're stuck in the same zone, you know, you got the same mentality, the same mindset. So we get out of our comfort zone here, and, you know, we don't like it at first, but it is what it is.
I've talked to some young men who haven't been here for more than a few days, and they're very irritable. And I can certainly understand that, but you know, eventually that irritability does go away, and when you start making progress, like you're both saying, when you start seeing changes in yourself, then, you know, it makes that road a little bit easier to traverse, as it was. So before we go too far, let's talk about the piano. Were you formally trained? Is it just something that you've picked up? How did you get involved with playing the piano?
When I was 5 years old, one of the few Christmases I had as a kid, one of my presents was a keyboard. It was like a little keyboard thing. And I don't know why, but it just blew my mind. And I loved it. So, like, I didn't let it go since then. So, like, you can say that I've been playing the piano since a kid. And I did. And when I learned that you can get the piano and, like, mimic your favorite song or something on it, you know, you can make a piano cover, like, that blew my mind when I was, like, you know, still a kid. I'm like, wow, you can do all that with the piano? Like, you can do this, you can do that. And they started telling me that you can make your own music, you know. I started getting into the Mozart and the Beethoven stuff.
Wow.
And then that blew my mind. I'm like, so it's like, it just blew my mind. Like, maybe it was a passion. Maybe it was like, maybe I was born for it. But all I know is that when I first touched the keyboard and my ears first heard the sound, like, I just, like, I found something there, some peace, some solace, like a passion. It's really a passion. And throughout the years, I've gotten better. I've done my practice. Even through my, you know, addiction, I would always go home and get on the keyboard anyways, because I guess that's another addiction. But I wouldn't miss out.
Healthy addiction.
Right. And I wouldn't miss out. Like, I would always find a way to go back home and, you know, play it before I go to sleep or play it when I wake up before leaving. And I just, I just found myself there. Like, it's a place where I find myself, and I sit there, and I've gotten better. At first, it was like self-teaching. Like, I would just play on it, and I was told that this was a C and this was a D and stuff like that. These are flats, these are sharps. So I just would play with it at first. But I did start getting formally trained, and it's been a lot more heavy. In the last 6 years, I've been getting some very high-quality education from, like, private music academies and stuff like that. And I've had a mentor who he used to go to my house, and we used to practice. And I was just all in with the piano. I still am. Like, it's what I do.
Well, it's very therapeutic.
Very therapeutic.
Music in general, performing any kind of, if it's singing or playing an instrument, a piano or a guitar, it helps.
Right. So I've earned a lot of money with it as well.
All right.
And I was working with a foundation, called Project Knucklehead. They
Called what?
Project Knucklehead.
Uh-huh.
They, the director, my mentor, he created the foundation to help at-risk youth, that get into problems with the law or whatever, and help them find that replacement life, with music, arts, forms of self-expression. And, that happens right here, too. That's happening right here. So it's like, it touched me, to see that all this is going on. But with the piano, that's my main thing. I'm studying music composition and education. I want to be a piano teacher and a music theory professor. So I want to teach music theory and teach piano, but I also want to compose. So I'm shooting for that, and I don't know, man. I'm at a program and they got a piano here, so I'm not losing anything. I'm not losing any practice.
Right. Well, speaking of that, we're going to ask you if you wouldn't mind playing us out on this particular edition of the podcast in just a few moments. Would you be willing to do that for us?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we do that, I just want to thank all of you for watching our Footy podcast today, and thanks, Footy, for the opportunity to sit in the host chair. And thanks, Footy, for the opportunity to talk to these young men over the years. It's been really enlightening to me, and we want to appreciate everybody who watches. When you watch us on YouTube, feel free to leave us a comment. We love comments. A lot of folks have been sharing our podcast, and we appreciate that too. Make sure you subscribe and click on the little bell so we can notify you when we load a new podcast. We try to get a new one in once a week. Lori Hersey does an amazing job of doing the video editing, taking all the raw footage that we put together here and putting it into a cohesive podcast, and we appreciate her help immensely, and we appreciate all of your support watching the podcast and sharing them and subscribing, and we love the comments, so don't be afraid to leave a comment as well. And again, if you are wrestling with substance issues yourself, or a family member or a friend, a loved one, and you think maybe Here's Help might be the place that could give them some assistance, go to the website here'shelpinc.com, and there's a lot of information about what's going on here on this campus and different phone numbers you can call to get answers that you may not find on the website. So thanks again for all your help. Thank you, Jerry and Yolani, for being on with us today. Stay with us. Jerry's going to play us off this podcast with a quick musical composition. Stay with us.
Have you been introduced to Footy Sauce? Footy Sauce makes it easy to give ordinary chicken wings extraordinary flavor. Footy Wing Sauce is made with a perfect blend of herbs and spices. So what are you waiting for? Pour it on. Footy's Wing Sauce guarantees you a better tasting chicken wing every single time. When you fire up the grill, pour it on. Let Footy be your wingman. Kick your next party up a notch with Footy Sauce. Grab Footy's Wing Sauce and pour it on.
Thank you for listening to the Footy Podcast. To benefit, here's help. For more information about the Footy Podcast or Here's Help, contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. The executive producer of the Footy Podcast is Sam Zacco, COO of Here's Help.